Hey, what's up you guys? Installing a trailer hitch on your Hyundai Palisade can take you to some really cool places, like camping, biking, or even towing a U-Haul trailer just about anywhere in North America. Let's go ahead and break down that install. You'll need the tools seen here to complete this installation. So our first step is to lower our spare tire so we have some more room to install our hitch. Now everything we need, all the tools that come with that are in your vehicle, just in your cargo area right here. So let's go ahead and lower that. And then we're just going to go ahead and remove it completely. Next, we're going to lower our exhaust. It's held in by 3 exhaust hangers. There's one here towards the back, one back here towards the wheel well, and then one right here in the middle. Now before we remove those, we're going to support our exhaust with the strap so that it doesn't fall. We're just going to use our strap and go right here through this center hole, through this cross beam. And we're going to go right around our exhaust. And then go ahead and pull it nice and tight. And we'll leave a little bit of slack so when it drops down. So now we're ready to remove our exhaust hangers. Now to make it easier, we recommend spraying it with some soapy water. And then we have exhaust removal plier tools that we're going to be using. If not, you can just use normal pliers. And we'll repeat on the other two. Now there's a few prongs on this one. We're going to go with the top one. Now on the driver's side, we have a panel that we need to remove. It's held in by 3 push pins. There's one here, here, and here. And there's 2 plastic nuts up here that we're gonna remove using a 14mm socket. Now we're gonna start with the push pins. We're just gonna use a flathead screwdriver to pop those off. And we're gonna use a 14mm socket and an extension to remove these plastic nuts. Now it helps to pull down on the panel as you're removing it. Now following our instructions, we mark the bottom of our fascia. We need to cut it so that our hitch will sit into place. Now this cut, you can just use the instructions to mark it off as we did. It's just a 1/2 inch in and then 5.5 inches wide. And we're gonna use an air saw to make that cut. Now we're ready to bring our hitch into place. We're gonna line up our 2 ends with our frame rails. Now to hold our hitch into place, we're gonna be using our U-Haul exclusive hitch jack. If you don't have a hitch jack, we do recommend that you get an extra set of hands as this hitch is pretty heavy. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our hardware. We have a couple long bolts that go through the side of our hitch, through the frame to attach everything. Now there's 2 different sizes and it's hard to see straight out of the box, but when you put them close together, you can see that there's 2 that are the same size and there's one that's slightly longer. The one that's slightly longer we're going to be using on the passenger side, and the 2 shorter ones we'll be using on the driver's side. Now the ones on the driver's side, we're going to be using 2 conical tooth washers for it to install it. So we're just going to take the nut and the conical washer off. We're going to leave one over by the bolt head and we're going to insert it through our hole. Then on the other side, we're just going to secure it into place. We're going to put on the conical tooth washer and the nut. And we'll repeat on the second one. And we're just going to leave it loosely on while we do the other side. Now on our passenger side, we're going to use the bolt with the flat washer. So we're going to take this and insert it. Now our heat shield gets in the way, so we're going to just use a pry bar. You can use a flathead or anything like that. We'll push up, and then this will allow us to continue making our way through. Now that that's through, on the other side, we're going to take our last conical tooth washer and our nut, and we'll secure it into place. Now still on the passenger side, we have two more attachment points on the bottom. Now to attach those, we're going to be using our small bolt with our small conical tooth washer, and we're just going to tighten those up. And we'll repeat on the driver's side. Now we're going to tighten and torque all of our bolts to the manufacturer specification. We're going to tighten the bolts on the bottom of our hitch with a 16mm socket, and we'll be using a 19mm socket for the ones on the side. Now, if you need those specs, you can find the instructions with all of that info in our description. You may have to use a wrench to hold the bolt into place on the other side to keep it from spinning. And now we're going to reinstall our exhaust. And then we'll go ahead and reinstall our spare tire. Now we left our panel for last because if you want to install your trailer wiring, it's located right here, right behind where this panel is installed. So you want to leave that off if you want to hook it up. And you can follow our install that we do for this on the video that's going to come up on the screen right now. Now if you want to reinstall this panel, you'll have to modify it. We're going to cut it out a little bit because this comes up against the bolts that we installed, and we need to notch out a little bit more to get more room. So if you don't want to install this, you can just keep this and set it aside. Otherwise, let's show you where to make those cuts. So first, we're going to make a cutout right here. We're just going to use our air saw. And next, we need to make one right here. And then we're just going to make sure it fits. And it does, so we're going to go ahead and install it. With our hitch installed, we pulled our vehicle down onto level ground to show you some important measurements for your hitch accessories. This is a 2-inch receiver. From the pinhole to the end of the bumper is 3.5 inches, and from the ground to the top of the receiver is 14 inches. This will help you determine the length, rise, and drop for your hitch accessories, such as a bike rack and cargo carrier. So that wraps up our install in our video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this product, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with a U-Haul Hitch professional, you can visit your closest U-Haul Hitch center, or you can visit us online at uhaulhitches.com. Thank you.